of our city. It is in those shadows alone where Muslims could embrace their full identities. And that if we were to emerge from those shadows, that it is in those shadows that we must leave our faith. These are lessons that so many Muslim New Yorkers have been taught again and again. And over these last few days, these lessons have become the closing messages of Andrew Cuomo, Curtis Sliwa, and Eric Adams. Yesterday, Andrew Cuomo laughed and agreed when a radio host said that I would cheer another 9/11. Yesterday, Eric Adams said that we can't let our city become Europe. He compared me to violent extremists. And he lied again and again when he said that our movement seeks to burn churches and destroy communities. The day before that, Curtis Sliwa slandered me from the debate stage when he claimed that I support global jihad. And every day, Super PAC ads imply that I am a terrorist or mock the way I eat.
Stop it.
Push polls that ask New Yorkers questions like whether they support invented proposals to make halal food mandatory, or political cartoons that represent my candidacy as an airplane hurtling towards the World Trade Center. But I do not want to use this moment to speak to them any further. I want to use this moment to speak to the Muslims of New York City. I want to speak to the memory of my aunt. Who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she didn't feel safe in her hijab. I want to speak to the Muslim who works for our city. Whether they teach in our schools, or walk the beat for the NYPD. New Yorkers who all make daily sacrifices for the city they call home, only to see their leaders spit in their face. I want to speak to every child who grows up here, marked as the other, who is randomly selected in a way that never quite feels random, who feels that they carry a stain that can never be cleaned. Growing up in the shadow of 9/11, I have known what it means to live with an undercurrent of suspicion in this city. I will always remember the disdain that I faced, the way that my name could immediately become Muhammad, and how I could return to my city only to be asked in a double-mirrored room at the airport if I had any plan on attacking it. And since I was very young, I've also known that I was spared the worst of it. I was never pressured to be an informant, like a classmate of mine. I've never had the word terrorist spray painted on my garage as one of my staff had to ignore. My mosque has never been set on fire. To be Muslim in New York is to expect indignity. But indignity does not make us distinct. There are many New Yorkers who face it. It is the tolerance of that indignity that does. Since I announced my candidacy for mayor 1 year ago yesterday,
Let me know if
I
I'm
have
in the way.
sought to be the candidate fighting for every single New Yorker, not simply the Muslim candidate. I've carried these indignities with me each moment of this race, doing so all the while as the first major Muslim candidate in the history of our city. I thought that if I could build a campaign of universality, I could define myself as the leader I aspire to be, one representing every New Yorker, no matter their skin color or religion, no matter where they were born. I thought that if I worked hard enough, it would allow me to be that leader. And I thought that if I behaved well enough, or bit my tongue enough in the face of racist, baseless attacks, all while returning back to my central message, it would allow me to be more than just my faith. I was wrong. No amount of redirection is ever enough. In doing this, I have told the wide-eyed young child of Jackson Heights or the first-time voter in Dorchester that they too should remain in the shadows. In many ways, I have become that same uncle who me aside 6 years ago. No more. The dream of every Muslim is simply be treated the same as any other New Yorker. And yet for too long, we have been told to ask for less than that and to be satisfied with whatever little we receive. No more. For as long as we have lived, we have known that no matter what anyone says, there are still certain forms of hate that are acceptable in this city. Islamophobia is not seen as inexcusable. One can incite violence against our mosques and know that condemnation will never come. Elected officials in this city can sell t-shirts calling for my deportation without any fear of accountability. The consequences amidst this inaction are stark. More than 1 million Muslims in this city existing, all while being made to feel as if we are guests in our own home.
Little Mark.
No more.
It's funny.
We stand on the precipice of an election, but that is not what today is about. We know that in less than 2 weeks we will say goodbye to a disgraced former governor and our current indicted mayor. The bigger question is whether we are willing to say goodbye to something much larger than either of these two men. It is whether we are willing to say goodbye to anti-Muslim sentiment that has grown so endemic in our city that when we hear it, we know not whether the words were spoken by a Republican or a Democrat. We know only that it was spoken in the language of politics of the city. In an era of ever-diminishing bipartisanship, it seems that Islamophobia has emerged as one of the few areas of agreement. And while I appreciate all who have rushed to my defense over these past few days, I think of those Muslims in this city who do not have the luxury of being the Democratic nominee, who do not have the luxury of being deemed worthy of solidarity. While my opponents in this race have brought hatred to the forefront, this is just a glimpse of what so many have to endure every day across this city. And while it would be easy for us to say that this is not who we are as a city, we know the truth. This is who we have allowed ourselves to become.
Please subscribe.
And a question lies before each of us. Will we continue to accept a narrow definition of what it means to be a New Yorker that makes smaller every day the number of those guaranteed a life of dignity? Will we remain in the shadows, or will we together step into the light? There are 12 days remaining until Election Day. I will be a Muslim man in New York City each of those 12 days and every day that follows after that. I will not change who I am, how I eat, or the faith that I am proud to call my own. But there is one thing that I will change. I will no longer look for myself in the shadows. I will find myself in the light. Thank you very much.
Well, there it was, guys. Short and sweet. We get to be free. Ah, my cigarettes. All right, man. He gets to be free. Not too bad, eh? I told you his conference is quicker than Curtis. Yeah, it wasn't mine. Hey, good. How are you?
Yeah, how's it been following everybody around?
Good. I want to thank you. You got me like 2,000 new subscribers.
Oh, amazing.
With your press connection. So
awesome.
it's been, which is a lot to me because I was with 9,000. Now I have 11. So
that's
big
great.
chunk.
I gotta
Thank you.
subscribe to you.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate the interest. At some point, it would be fun to interview you. I'm sure it's crazy now, but like,
we should do it.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Let me know next week. I'll do it. No, definitely. Let me know.
No, please. That'll be awesome. Thank you. Awesome.
Happy to do it.
Well, guys,
you
stay
did well.
tuned.
11,000
Thank you.
subscribers.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Well, you've been a huge help in letting me know where everybody is.
Obviously, you know about the rally Sunday.
Yes,
you
I'll
know
be
about
there
that.
for that. Yeah.
And they send them in last minute, but
I'm
when
sure.
I get them, I'll shoot them and do. When I know they don't always give the address, but
Right.
do you have a contact? Should I ask the address? Because I asked the address and I know I'm definitely
Right.
going,
I figure you're going to be there. I
do
didn't
you finagle it otherwise or no? I can ask the address for all of them.
That's nice of you. I would
can
say
ask.
I would do two things first because I tested it because I didn't get the second email about the address.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
realize it, so I emailed them.
Well,
and
you
they
have to email them directly, yeah.
right,
yeah.
and they actually got back to me, gave me the address.
Well, that's good. Okay.
So
that's what
I
they've
will
been
try
doing.
to email them first, as long as you give
If
me
you
like a
can't-
heads
if
up,
you
and
can't-
then,
yeah, if you
and then
can't
I'll
get the
email you
address,
and
let
ask
me
you.
know.
That's very nice.
I text the press secretary. They
I
text me
appreciate
back
that.
quickly.
Oh,
I
awesome.
don't know.
Thank you.
I'm trying to go more now. I've been so busy lately. I haven't gone to that many of these things. I'm
Yeah,
trying
I don't
now.
blame
like
you.
today I got this one seemed very important, so I had to get up here.
Yeah, it's a hot
do some more
topic.
Cuomo. I haven't done a Cuomo in a bit. I did a lot in the primary. I'm just kind of so sick of him.
Yeah, I don't blame. I'm not.
I'm due for a Cuomo.
Yeah, I'm not, like, for me, I don't even get interest with him. I get a lot of views with Curtis and Zohran,
Right,
but
Curtis
nobody cares about Cuomo. So I even got the press guy's contact, but I never bothered to text him because I'm like, it's just not worth.
Have you been able to speak to Curtis?
Yes,
That's
yeah.
good,
I want
Curtis
it.
He's very available.
Yes, very,
Yeah.
and a very different press conference than this, because he'll answer everybody's questions. So his conference will be like a whole hour.
Yeah,
essentially. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm
I'd
happy
love
to do
that.
the camera thing.
I'd love that. All right, thank you. Yeah, do your thing. Thank you, Ross. I appreciate it. Thanks for all your help. That was Ross Barkin, guys. Subscribe. He is a politics guru. He go to substack.rossbarkin.com. Here, I got it for you. You're free. Go to substack.rossbarkin.com. Ross has been on the ground for a lot of these events. This is a whole press conference, so you see the difference of Zohran versus Sliwa. Understandably, a lot more people for Zohran. Curtis Sliwa's, which we went to earlier today, that conference almost lasted a whole hour. So Zohran was all of 9 minutes. That was it. And you can't judge too much because he's the front runner, so why mess anything up? But you got to give Curtis some respect for answering questions, which Zohran did not do today. This is kind of a drive-by in a lot of ways. But they're talking about Islamophobia. It's interesting, people try to make stuff be real issues when they're not, and I don't know. I'm respect to the Islamic community, but I don't think Cuomo is being Islamophobic or, obviously Curtis is not being Islamophobic. So it's interesting to see, the attacks that people try to make, see what sticks, see what doesn't. So Zohran felt like the Islamophobia would work. And, it is legitimate to say there's been Islamic neglect on Cuomo's behalf. He's certainly not gone to as many mosques or met with leaders as he should have. But you can see Zohran kind of putting it on cruise control where everybody was up Curtis Sliwa's bum. Zohran is just like, all right, I'll speak very quickly, do a little prayer, in, out. That is it. So it was it. I don't know. I put a 1 if you want me to go to more Zohran press conferences. Put a 2 if you don't care and you just like the Sliwa ones. Let's see. A lot of people hate Zohran in this chat. Dodge, do you have a sense of enthusiasm? That Curtis has way more enthusiasm than Cuomo. I'm going to say Curtis is going to actually wind up in second place and not Cuomo. Yes. I mean, again, if you guys want to watch my video of the debate, the mainstream media was not actually filming the crowd and comparing sizes, but I was. So I was looking at, all right, who has a bigger crowd? Curtis had the biggest crowd. His crowd is bigger than Zohran's. Zohran's people left at 6 p.m. Curtis's people were there the entire time. Cuomo's crowd was half the size of Zohran's, and Zohran's crowd was half the size of Curtis's. So yes, good question. 2, you don't really care about the conferences, you're saying. Yeah, I don't blame you. Well, what is 3? I don't know, they're fucking with me. You digging in the trash while I'm homeless? Give me a fucking super chat, goddammit. What happened? Zohran was talking about Islamophobia. We did a little Zohran for all the Zohranistas that are fans of the stream. We did a little Zohran scene. Jesus, somebody's talking about Jesus. Projector Sector says Jesus doesn't even know what Christianity is. He was a Jew. He might know now. We'll never know. Maddie says, I'm scared for New York City. I say burn it down, burn this motherfucker down, burn it down, motherfucker, burn this motherfucker down. We never saw his face. Whose face? My face? It's ugly. Very ugly. But I do sell ginger pubes on OnlyFans for $20 a pop. This guy is sickening. I assume you're talking about Madmdani, or maybe me. I gross myself out. I'm just kidding about the OF. Unless there's some popular support. You know, people are calling Zohran a radical. Yeah, that's all we got, Trixie, is more dog streaming. Because that was a quick drive-by. It was all of 9 minutes. It's a quick drive-by conference. Did you just say that? Give me, all right, hey, we got some OF support. I love it. I love it. I don't really have an OF. Could if I would. I think people would hate not to see it. I'm praying Curtis to win. Nice, Mary. Because New York City needs some big time. Curtis is a good choice. I like Zohran too. I'm the only one who likes both Zohran and Curtis. I'm not a Cuomo-sexual. This is an announcement, guys. If you came out of the closet as a Cuomo-sexual during COVID, you cannot come back in. Pardon me. Not too many old men in politics. Yeah, fair. Aw, thank you, Trixie. Trixie gave you the first super chat. All right, now we lost everybody. I'm not surprised. Nobody wants to hear this asshole talk and spew his diarrhea of the mouth. I don't blame you. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. And you can just stop watching when Zohran stops speaking. You don't need to hear this drivel that I'm spewing. Annabelle says, I like Annabella. Hey, Annabella, nice to have you. I like Curtis and Zohran, too. Yeah, a lot of people do. Even Zohran said number 2 choice was the coitus. It's, you know, everybody's messing up people's names. Like, they can't say Zohran. It's like Zohran, Marmaduke. I think with Curtis, they should just call him coitus. Let's see what else is happening in the chat. We still got 70 people. Guys, this is not worth watching. Unless maybe find the only person covering the mayoral with the shit and make fun of myself and walk with some fat dog. Add a little humor. Hashtag free fat dog. Anything but Cuomo? Yeah, I'm not. Put a 1 if you want me to go to Cuomo events. I can. His press person's a nice guy, and he was like, "Yeah, we'll put you on the list." So I could go on Cuomo's list. So yeah, put a 1 if you want me to cover Cuomo. Put a 2 if you're happy with me just covering Zohran and coitus. I'm also gonna cover there's a big rally in Newark early next week, with Mikey Sherrill and Obama. Obama's gonna be there too. So you will see Obama. You New Yorkers are full. Full of what? Full? We are pretty full. Oh, I got 150 people watching. Guys, Zohran isn't speaking anymore. It's just some asshole spewing diarrhea of the mouth. 2, Zohran is way more interesting. Yeah, word. Obama 2028, that might happen. Gotta love Obama. Let's see what else people are saying in the chat. In the steamy chat. Zor is such a cutie patootie pie. He's a good looking guy. Can't deny that. Jessica Ramos was the hottest in the mayoral primary, though. No competition. Rest in peace. She's dead. Trump 2028 says Denzel. Very intelligent. I mean, this is going to convince me. That's the thing. All the people saying, Trump, 2028. Like, oh my God, now I'm going to vote for Trump because he spams my chat. Thank you so much, stupid. If Trump can, so can Obama. Yeah, Trump runs for a 3rd term. Obama will run too. But we'll see. I can't believe I just lost 100 people. You're like, this isn't Zohran. This is just some fat dog looking at his butthole. Sorry, guys. We're just streaming looking at my dog's butthole the whole time. I hope that's all right. Word of mouth carpet and the cleaning. What the fuck is going on? Yeah, everybody's interrupting. There's some other dog that was interrupting shit. It wasn't him. You're doing good. He smelled something familiar. So yeah, I know. Are we back home? We are Melrose. At some point, I have to sign up. I can't believe I have 250 people watching. Guys, Zohran's done. It's just me, and I ain't worth a damn. How is your hog? It's slightly above average, I would say. It's good enough. It's not great, but it's not awful. Any other questions? Bye, guys. Have a good afternoon. Thank you. I know this conversation's gotten disgusting and sophomoric, but I have to answer the question. I will, unlike Zohran no offense. I will answer all questions, including that offensive question that was just asked. Anyway, you should do an interview with one of the 15 New Yorkers voting for Cuomo. I've interviewed some people voting for Cuomo. You know what's interesting about the mayoral election, especially showing up to the debate, is that everybody proves their stereotype. Meaning it was a bunch of like trendy, hip, liberal kids with piercings, all white, pretty much all white, in the Zohran camp. And then Cuomo camp was all these old tough talking New Yorkers with like puffy faces. You could tell they're old union guys in their 70s. You could tell they like to hit the sauce a little too much. The old, because I'm Irish, right? I can talk about this. Old Irish, you know, puffy faces obviously have drinking problems, and they were all there. You know, it's an old school Tammany Hall union thing. And that's the thing. New York City used to be controlled by kind of a boss machine entity called Tammany Hall, and Boss Tweed was the head of Tammany Hall. And people say it got toppled. Ed Koch toppled it when he ran against Carmine DeFapio. He was this big mafioso. You should look him up. He always would wear these sunglasses back in the 50s. This classic mafioso guy. And he got defeated, and they say Tammany died, and then what they did is they replaced Tammany with Democratic clubs. And so these Democratic clubs would have their little fiefdoms of power per neighborhood. So maybe 40 blocks would have one club, right? So there's a bunch of clubs. There's probably 30 or 40 clubs. So Cuomo has had a lot of the old school Democratic clubs. Zohran has a lot of the new ones. But you can see where everybody takes their marching orders now. It becomes remarkably predictable, I would say. So it was interesting to see the type of people that were there at the rally for various candidates. No worries. I hear you. He's threatened to break my phone. Good times. Try not to break my phone. Wouldn't that be fun, guys? Maybe I should film him, like, put a one if you want me to confront him and he'll break my phone. If you give me a 500 super chat, I will accost that man after he yelled at me and said which is understandable. He said I didn't want to be on camera. But if you give me a 500 super chat, I will let him break my phone. How about that? We got a one. There are leash laws, and he definitely. Do you think I give a fuck about following the law? Zohran, 2025, we're not arresting for shit anymore, stupid. Fucking. Go back to Westchester, bitch. Stannis said, why isn't your dog on a leash? Why are you such a puss? They're questions we can't answer. Stannis, get on your leash. You know, I'm saving the leash for your mom. That's where the leash is. I had the leash before, and I have to save it later for your mom. Let's see, what else are we talking about? Stop telling him what to do. Thank you, Deborah, with his dog. Dog is well behaved off leash. He was very well behaved off leash. Guys, please subscribe to more rantings and ravings. Trump should go harder. Are you in bed with him? I don't know what that means. Dog is smelling ice. He is a Mexican dog. He is an illegal migrante. I picked him up on the street in Mexico, and I took him without any documentation across the border. What becomes of your dog if something happens to that doggy? Huh? I don't know how to answer that. Oh man, I love moms. A little too much, that's my problem. Madmdani knows nothing about fiscal stability. That is a fair argument, Milo. I'll take that argument. Economics are important. I'm gonna sign off soon, guys. Unless you're enjoying this, put a 1 if you think it's okay if I leave. Put a 2 if not. I guess the truth hurts when it comes to the law. I'm not following it. The rules are meant to be broken. You should go to New York 1 where they're all their little type A prissy pantsy people, huh? You'd like New York 1. They're all a lot more formal. They take themselves very seriously. If you don't think I'm not paying attention to the law, then fucking watch New York 1, bitch. And they'll be stiff, and they'll have their media narrative, and they won't be human, and they'll be little good type A robots. So if you want a little good type A robot, go elsewhere. Zohran Mamdani is the worst thing for NYC. I don't think he's the worst thing. A lot of people understandably have a lot of issues with him. I understand that. I think the city's become so unaffordable where we have to have a manageable living situation. And if there is a little more homeless on the street and, you know, things aren't as... I mean, here's the thing, guys. Bloomberg and Eric Adams, but particularly Bloomberg, spent so much money beautifying aesthetically New York City without actually empowering the people, without actually giving money to social services, to education improvement, to shelters, to homeless outreach, to mental health care. Yeah, why don't we fucking spend $10 million on a stupid waterfall? Remember that stupid waterfall on the bridge? Let's spend $10 million to put a stupid fucking waterfall on a bridge. Oh, the Oculus. Let's create bougie land for people. Oh, and let's eliminate the entire East River Park, because we can't have minorities enjoying park space. They're not entitled to that, right? So let's destroy, thank you, Carlina Rivera, let's destroy the entire East River Park. And there's been such a focus on beautification for the ultra-rich, where it'll be nice to have money directly go in the hands of the people. Now, am I a socialist? No. Is he too socialist? In my opinion, yes. Is it better than Bloomberg's economic outlook, though? Yes. Why isn't your dog on a leash? I'm saving it for your mom. Zohran Madmdani is the worst thing for NYC. Says somebody. Rodolfo speculation. I don't know what that means. Oh, somebody's saying speculation. Dog is illegal and it has no... That's why he's voted for Zohran. Burn this motherfucker down, motherfucker. Guys, please subscribe. Can't leave 230. Guys, Zohran is done speaking, but going in the beginning. Looks like we got 100 new people here, and they all just left after they heard me speak. They hate my voice. Fucking leave already. You said you were just leaving. Just go. No, we got 120 people watching. They used to be enjoying it. Nice try. I still love you. Give me money. All right, let's see. Anything else I missed? Thank you for the super chat. Trixie, very sweet. I think I thanked Trixie before, but I do thank her again. We got 2. All right, cool. Well, let's see. What else do we have in the agenda? Stay tuned for Sunday. They'll be around with AOC Boyne, Bernie Sanders. And that's going to be a big rally, so you better come to that. And we're going to go to New Jersey, as I said before, to see Obama with Mikey Sherrill. I'm the only journalist, not that I'm a journalist, I'm a piece of shit, but I'm the only person covering both elections on both sides of the river. So you better subscribe. And the only person that doesn't take myself that seriously. Madmdani, says George W. Bush, great name in the chat. Love you, George. Doesn't know, thanks for the genocide, doesn't know too much about financials, so it'd be easy to catch him stealing like the other choices. Yeah, right? They get a little too crazy. You could bust them. But I don't think he's financially corrupt like Cuomo or like Eric Adams. Oh, where'd my phone go? I gotta leave because I got 5%. Please do subscribe. Love you all. Bye-bye.